Hello guys, welcome to this video. This video I'm going to be speaking about courage and how recently I have chosen to take on a more courageous approach to life. How I have also done that in the past and how that time in the past was really beneficial for me. It was a really good period of my life and a time I look back on fondly, basically. The first thing I wrote down was this: you see opportunity and you're willing to take on the task. This is what they mean by all-in commitment, a constant readiness to take on a task or pursuit that will move you forward and get you closer to your goals. I naturally think of it in quite a creative way. I have insights when it comes to creative ideas, insights when it comes to writing, videos, and that readiness is a readiness to first receive the insight, actually allow yourself to be open enough to receive the insight and then to act on it. That is the courage, that is the readiness. This means you have to take on responsibility. The alternative is not taking on responsibility. I've found that whether you take on the responsibility of your vision or not, the thoughts about your vision don't actually go away. So if you don't take on this responsibility, you're still thinking about your vision, you still have hope about what could be if you were to act, but you're not doing anything about it. And that comes with some emotions that I don't really want to be spending a lot of my time feeling. It's quite a creative way to live, I think, because you kind of remove the thinking brain sometimes. You get these insights and you have an instinct to act on them or not. And sometimes the logical brain would get in the way if you were to use it. If you had an insight to go, your body says go, and then you start to think about it, it might not make complete sense. And you trying to work out why you feel called to do this might actually harm you on your way to succeeding in whatever the pursuit is. To conclude that point, before it gets a little bit messy, I want to say this, and I wrote this down. Along the path, there are surges of inspiration. You don't need to think about it. That might be harmful to your success. Instead, you trust your instincts. You're already on the path of growth. You've got that all-in commitment. So you trust when your body says go. I think you might need a bit of evidence before you can kind of trust yourself, trust your instincts like this a bit more readily. I can't remember when, but it's only been recently that I've felt like I've been having this all-in commitment to actually move forward and pursue my vision. I've got a little bit of stacked evidence that I perhaps don't even have to think about consciously, but I know that when there's an insight, I'm going to act on it. So when these surges of inspiration come and I'm like, just do it, I'm like, well, okay, I'm doing it, I'm ready. And in those moments, sometimes you don't have the complete inspiration carrying you through. So you have to make the decision to do the harder thing, but the right thing. I wrote something recently on my Instagram about the right decision and how when you're at a crossroads, you can prepare yourself to be in the best state possible to make the right decision in that moment by making the right decision in the moment before and the last time you were at a crossroads and had to make a decision. So yeah, I guess you build momentum is what I'm saying. I read a book or nearly finished a book by David Hawkins he talks about letting go, the pathway of surrender. David Hawkins created a map of consciousness, and basically there's levels to this map of consciousness from the bottom to the top, and they're different states of being. So they're like anger, below that might be sadness, below that might be depression, below that might be grief. That might not be accurate, and some of them, depression, I'm not sure if it is in there, but grief is, anger is, and then above these is courage. Courage is the point on this map of consciousness where energy starts to feel expansive. You start to be energy expanding. You start to be a good vibe around people instead of a low vibe. The lower vibes are below 200. Below courage, all the levels below courage are energy constricting. Naturally, you might feel like you don't want to be around that person. Their vibe isn't energy enhancing. Living at this level of courage might be a way of being that some people had to live when they were younger. They had to be courageous to get through whatever they were getting through. So they know that this way works. But according to David Hawkins, this map of consciousness, there's levels to this, and therefore above courage, there's many levels. There's acceptance, there's love, there's willingness. And some people might get to courage, and he talks about this. Some people might get to the level of courage from being at lower levels of consciousness. They might get to courage and be like, okay, this is hard and I can do this, and this is the way I want to live. They might want to stay there. To then get to higher levels of consciousness might not be something they're used to, might not be something they want to do. The main point here is they might only know courage as a way to survive and live. So that is their ceiling. And this is kind of talking about what Zach Pogrоб, I think that's the way he says his name, spoke about in one of his videos, where he's like, look, I probably am choosing this life of obsession. I'm choosing this life of being all in on something because the lack of something I received as a child. So I'm trying to seek external validation from the world. What I found really interesting was he acknowledged that, but he still continues to pursue this life of obsession. And I feel like obsession is similar to what I've been talking about, this constant readiness to take on the task, to receive the insight and actually pursue it. Because yeah, a life of obsession, I guess, is you commit to something, this is your goal, an insight comes in on how you can improve that thing. You are ready to take on that challenge. Oh, another insight comes in just as you begin to pursue this one, and you're actually, the right thing to do, it feels like the right thing to do is pursue that insight, which is difficult and challenging, but because you've committed to this readiness and you're obsessed, you choose to do the harder thing, which in this case you believe is the right thing. So yeah, this video was about courage, and Zach Pogrob's approach to a life of obsession came to mind, something I wrote down. So perhaps there's an overlap there, or it's the same thing just being said in a different way. Okay guys, gonna end the video there. Thank you for watching. I hope you can take something away from this. I'd be interested to know if you are also experiencing anything similar at the moment, if you're choosing to be courageous in the pursuit of your goals, in the pursuit of making your vision for your life a reality. Let me know in the comments. I will speak to you all soon. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.